If you are waiting until your child is older to have a career, have a life, have a business, or start a business, or scale a business, or take some time to yourself again, this is wrong. And I used to think that myself, and until I had a mentor who kind of like shook me up and woke me up and made me realize that this is not going to stop. If you don't do it now, while your child is whatever age, my daughter was 3, later isn't going to be better, because the thing with childhood is there's always the next level challenge and it never really stops. I mean, teenagers aren't easier than toddlers, and toddlers aren't easier than babies. Let's face it, when you had a baby, you're thinking, oh, that was so hard, how am I going to do this? But then when your baby became a toddler, if that's already the case, you realize how the baby stage was actually easier than the toddler stage. And it's going on and on like this, my friend. So there's not going to be a time where everything is going to be easy, peaceful, no chaos, no hardship, no drama. No, having kids is just hard the whole way through. And probably even when they are adults, like relationship, buying a house, going for a new job, setting up a business, failing or whatever, we on for our whole life, basically. But my point is, I've got some good news. Instead of thinking I'm going to wait until my child is age for me to have my life back or start a business, whatever, do it now. Because look, the skills required to have a business, have a venture. I'll say have a venture because you could be a freelancer, you could have a business, you could have a non-profit. All these are ventures. And the difference between the business and the freelancing is you can sell the business. You can't sell everything else. Everything else you're creating that you can't sell is not a business, basically. So whatever you want to create as a venture, if you do it while you have your child, even if your child is a baby, like I did when mine was, or a toddler, or more than that, lucky you, I guess, you have all the skill required at that time to also create a venture. In other words, creating a venture requires patience, organization skills, multitasking, compassion, understanding humans, waking up early, discipline, flexibility, handling chaos. Don't they sound familiar for if you're a parent, especially if you're a mom? Don't those skills I've just listed sound freaking familiar? Yes, because being a mom requires all those skills. And this is a great news. So if you are creating your venture while you are being a mom, even of a child under 5 years old, you are the best possible equipped human being to succeed. And if you're thinking, oh, Mary, that's going to give me more work, I don't have time or energy for that. Well, no, actually, it's going to give you less work because you will combine having your child and having that venture, togetherness. And I'm going to give you examples. I have a nonprofit. I'm a freelancer. I'm working on scaling my business. At the same time, I have a 4-year-old and she has special needs. I mean, ADHD, she's super active, whatever they call it. And the reason it's easier is because in my nonprofit, I created a childcare system where my daughter can be part of. If you have a nonprofit, by the way, that means you're not going to get paid. And before you're thinking, oh, this is crazy, why would I volunteer on top of being a mom? Because even though you don't get paid, the benefits that the nonprofit are going to bring you is worth it. If you have a child, you're going to pay less childcare. This is what I do. If you create it in a smart way, obviously you gotta use your brain. I reduce my childcare fees almost to nothing. Well, I still have some, but they are considerably reduced because my daughter is part of the childcare setting I have created and all the activities I create. And trust me, they are the best, funniest, most amazing type of entertainment I've seen in my life. Not to throw flowers on myself, of course, but because I get funding from the government to have my nonprofit running on top of the rest, then it's just making it way easier for me to have all those things like free food, free activities, free childcare, not even mentioning the ton of amazing families I've met and connected with and the friendship that I've made. This is like priceless. On top of that, if you have another venture where you actually do make profit for yourself, it's also going to help you scale that venture because the people you get in your nonprofit who might come for free or pay a short fee or who don't pay you as a person to create whatever activities or services you create, they may become your clients, hopefully, in your other venture where you do do get paid. It's all about strategy, my friend, all right? I share this in my other events and courses, by the way, if you want more details. But yes, as a mom, you should be creative and use your creativity and your amazing motherhood skills to create ventures with an S and partner with other people so you don't get the work all on your shoulders. And if you're telling me, Mary, I don't know anybody, I don't have any friends, I don't have anybody to create a venture with, I didn't have that either. I actually had my daughter in this new country, England, where I had lived a year. It was COVID. I didn't know anybody. I moved into a town when everyone was a stranger, no family members, no friends, and I started from scratch. I'm French, by the way, so English isn't even my first language. And I still did it. And I'm not like smarter than anybody else. Well, that's how I like to see myself, I guess. So anyone can really do it. And I see people who have like support and family members and friends. You are really well set like to create that venture, and use your actual skills that you already have as a mom. What do you know? What can you do? Are you great at cooking? Are you great at organization? Are you great at setting up the most amazing messy plays? Are you great at gathering people together? Are you great at chatting nonstop? Are you great at potty training? Are you great at maybe dealing with fussy eating? All these things you can create anything around that. Courses, programs, events, social gatherings, and that's enough to create either any type of venture, like either non-profit or a business. You can create a nursery with other people, a child-minding setting. You can create baby and toddler classes. There's so many things you can create as a mother where your children can be part of. After-school clubs, after-school classes, arts and craft sessions, or even just mother session. If you don't want the kids around, you can do mother sessions. If you're lucky enough to have a partner who can look after your child or your children at the end of the day, when maybe he's back from work and you have your hands free for like an hour is enough. Then you can do maybe those wellness session for mothers only or ladies only, dance class, I don't know, fitness class, meditation class, anything that you're good at, you can actually do that. Even if it's just gathering together around a cup of tea or dinner. That's going to help people, humans out there so much. And if you can relate and have other parents, that's going to help other parents so much to even not have to cook dinner one night a week. This is gem. This is great. Okay, hopefully that gave you some highlights. I go deeper in my events, in my courses. Join my newsletter for more. Link under this video. Catch you up in the next one. Bye now.